ability. In order to help give a better sense of this, we promoted and held a Pride Week during the month of June at our school. The Human Rights Club held a film day, poster making day, and community discussions. The community discussions did a great job of bringing people together and listening to and sharing each other's stories. Okay, I'm sorry, my papers got a little out of order.
It's okay.
Okay. Another peace promoting event that we went to was Farm Workers Albany Day. The club, as well as Spanish students from Rondout Valley, had been traveling up to Albany to lobby for equal rights for farm workers for many years. We spoke with senators from New York State and members of the Assembly, and this year, the Fair Labor Practices Act was passed, giving farm workers This act gave farm workers equal labor rights, including finally requiring a day of rest. It felt powerful knowing that our club helped make a difference that impacted so many people's lives. Another incredible, historic experience our club was able to participate in was Green Light New York Albany Day. There were about 1,000 people lobbying for driver's licenses for everyone, and specifically undocumented immigrants. The bill ended up getting passed, which was absolutely amazing. Every presence and vote matters. So no matter how little you think your voice or presence is, just know it could mean changing someone's life and bringing them peace. Last March, our Vice President of the Human Rights Club, Victoria Nazario, along with a now graduated club member, Aaliyah Williams, spoke at the Poor People's Campaign. Victoria and Aaliyah shared their stories bravely about what it was like to grow up in poverty and how they became the strong women they are today, who help others through their work. Their stories were live streamed nationally. In our club, we hear and listen to people's stories, and we share our own. We value this so much because stories raise awareness and compassion for issues relevant to humanity and peace. At the Women in Black International Women's March in New Paltz, New York, our club spoke on gender equality and women's rights. We also attended the Rise Against Hate rally in New Paltz to protest against bullying and hate. Our Vice President Victoria also spoke at this event about bullying in our schools and the need to speak out. A few years ago, our club presented at the SUNY New Paltz Multicultural Conference. We are actually presenting again this week, which is very exciting. Our club members encouraged educators to include social justice issues and conversations in the classroom. We believe that you shouldn't have to join our club or any club to find out about issues going on in the world and in society. I strongly encourage you to have conversations about social justice and educate yourselves on various issues in order to promote a more peaceful environment and help be part of the solution. Our club has been attending the United Nations Association Human Rights Day at the Eleanor Roosevelt Center for many years. We listen to speakers relating to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which we value greatly. We are able to voice our thoughts in the breakout sessions and hear other people's thoughts and ideas. Over the past few years, our Human Rights Club has co-sponsored and helped organize a few benefits for refugees and immigrants with the Mid-Hudson United Nations Association and Amnesty International. We raise thousands of dollars for refugees and local immigrant associations that support immigrants. In the spring, we gave $500 to 4 different organizations supporting immigrants, including the Ulster Immigrant Defense Network, Nobody Leaves Mid-Hudson, Rural and Migrant Ministry, and One Pulse New Paltz. Not only does it feel good to be involved politically and socially, but it feels great to make a difference economically in people's lives who are in need. A few years ago, students held a benefit for Indigenous water protectors for Standing Rock at the Ramapo Lenape and Coalition Against Pilgrim Pipeline. Indigenous people and allies came to our school. We raised money for organizations protecting our water. Other clubs were invited to join us too. After the devastating Hurricane Maria, our school held a benefit with the junior high band to raise money for the destruction in Puerto Rico. When our club hears of natural disasters and devastating issues, we try our best to help out in any way possible and get involved. Our school also took part in the Mid-Hudson Annual Amnesty International Right for Rights. Students from our school wrote about 80 letters for political prisoners and human rights violations globally. Getting kids in school to participate in events such as these is important in raising awareness for the younger generations and getting them more involved in human rights issues as well as promoting peace. As I near the end of my time up here, I want to remind you all why peace work is so important and should be prioritized. Some remarks from my club members help further illustrate this concept. Victoria says, "Peace work is important to me because peace is one of our many human rights that are violated too often." Dior says, "I would say peace work is so important to me because I am constantly impacted by strong voices that stand for strong and beautiful causes. And then I realized I could be the strong voice that stands for a strong and beautiful cause." And another club member, Bryce Hopper, says, "When asked why I got involved in peace work, I thought back to the meaning of peace. Peace to me is equality, prosperity, harmony, and justice for all. The injustices and wrongdoings of many individuals, organizations, and nations in the world is disturbing. But fortunately, it can be fixed. That is why I got involved in peace work, to educate both myself and others. Peace is such an essential part of our lives and well-being that we must open our eyes and minds to diversity and listen as well as share others' stories." To finish, I'd like to quote one of my favorite musicians, John Lennon. "Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one." Now, if you could all join us in singing this verse from the song, we would greatly appreciate it. And my club member Dior is going to start us off with singing, and we can all sing it. So, okay. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Oh, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Thank you, Mohonk Consultations. Thanks to all of you. And remember, take action. Be the solution. You are the solution. We are the solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Kasey. Take a deep breath. Take that in. And now we will hear from Isabel Nacimento.
I'd like to thank you for the opportunity of speaking here in this conference. I'd like to ask you to open your heart to hear me. I'd like to ask you to get rid of resistance that can make you feel defensive and not consider my words. Some of the things I'm going to say here maybe are uncomfortable to you, However, it's my responsibility to say what I'm going to say. So I wrote this piece. I don't know how to call it, but you can interpret it the way you want. I've been thinking a lot about what does it mean peace? Live in peace, have peace, build in peace. As individuals, we can build peace using our own perspectives of the world. We can use spirituality, religion, philosophy, knowledge, etc. to build peace. We can find that point inside of us that keep things in balance, and it's really important to work in our individuality, to be able to live in this world that seems to take our energies over and over with so many issues. Now, I want us to ask ourselves, how can we be in peace while so many others don't have it? How can we have peace while watching so much poverty, people hungry, dying because there's nothing left to them? What does peace mean when few have everything, such as opportunity to study, healthcare, cars, food, clothes, trips, cell phones, books, information, power, and others don't have anything? I'm literally saying anything. What about racism, sexism, homophobia, and other kinds of oppression? How can we have peace when we know that so many people have been killed because of the color of their skins, or that they didn't have opportunity, and that's why they live in the margins of the society? Tell me, where's the peace when women are being raped, kidnapped, with no voice in their families, communities, jobs, with no voice in this society in general? Why peace isn't there for those that don't fit in this binary gender identity? Why peace isn't there for those that don't fit in this heterosexual orientation? Where is the peace for those that have experienced so much social injustice in this world? We have been targeted for the social injustice that the society committed to us. We listen every single day that we didn't achieve success because we didn't work hard enough. Is that true for you? Do you think we can have peace while we are so afraid of the systemic oppression that dominates this society? End of my piece. So, can you take a deep breath? I'm gonna keep going. If we are going to talk about peace, we need to talk about social change. We need to talk about systems of oppression. We need to talk about individual actions, but also about collective actions that can promote social change. And more than anything, we need to take action and be active in changing this world for good. I believe that education is essential for building peace. When I say education, I'm not talking about just education in a school. Of course, education is really important, in school is really important, but I'm also talking about education that starts at home with our children. I'm talking about the way we educate ourselves in our relationships as part of the society. I believe that to start social change, we need first to educate ourselves about those topics. We need to understand what oppression is and how it works in our society. More than that, we need to be prepared to be confronted. We need to open our hearts to hear how we, as a part of this society, we perpetuate oppression too. And I'm including myself in it. According to Sensei and the Angel, from this book that I'm just gonna show you later, to oppress is to hold down, to press and deny a social group full access and potential in given society. Oppression describes a set of policies, practice, traditions, norms, definitions, and explanations, discourse, which function to systematically exploit one social group to benefit of another social group. Oppression involves institutional control, ideological domination, and the imposition of the dominant group's culture on the minoritarious group. I don't have time to explain much about this topic, but this definition can give us a sense of what is oppression. Some examples of oppression are racism, classism, sexism, heterosexism, religious oppression, among others. How does it work in the institutionalized way? A few years ago, American people had slavery, and that was institutionalized, sorry. Segregation was institutional. Institutionalized. Oh my God, this is a big word. Don't think that saying a few years ago means we ended it. We have uncountable consequences of it. Thinking of now, where are